Hey everyone, I'm AI Manick, back again while the real Manick gets ready to jump in. Welcome to day 5 of the 12 Days of Christmas Live series. By now, you can probably tell every day just keeps getting better than the last. New features dropping, new platform products rolling out, and capabilities stacking fast. If you've been following along, your internal changelog is probably getting a few pages long. Quick check though, are you keeping up or are we moving too fast for you? Nah, just kidding. We know this community is hungry and ready to level up even more. And if you missed the start of all this, go back and watch day 1. That's where we launched the first ever agentic SEO platform. Software that doesn't just suggest what to do, but actually plans and executes. Everything you've seen since then builds on that foundation. If today's your first session, welcome. And if you've been here all week, you already know these lives tend to escalate. While we wait to get started, drop your questions in the chat. Product questions, strategy questions, or anything you want clarity on. I'll keep track so Manick can hit them live. Get comfortable and stay sharp. Day 5 is about to go live.
All right, day 5. What's up? How we doing? How are you guys doing out there? Thanks for tuning in. It's been so fun doing this every morning with you guys, seeing you guys jump into the chat. Just gonna say good morning to a couple people. Cardamom Tea Lover, what's up? Great to see you. You've been here every day. It wouldn't be a live stream without you being here, so thank you for being here. Who else do we got? We got Ken Plain in the house, Mastic, Long Island. Scott Tresnick, what's up, guys? Awesome to see all of you here. So, Search Atlas fam, thank you for being here. It's been an amazing week as you guys have been following along for a lot of big product launches. It's been busy for us at Search Atlas HQ, I can tell you that much. This week, if you've been paying attention, you've kind of noticed that we've been really focused this year on improving the ability of the Search Atlas platform to connect with and integrate with your sites, so that we can streamline and speed up our execution, so that SEO is going to become less manual, more automated, and more fun. The biggest bottleneck in marketing today, it's not ideas. It's our ability to execute across systems that were never made to talk to one another. And nowhere is that more obvious than with your CMS. So today, we are making a big step forward with that. So let's get ready for the Vestaboard drum roll, please. Let's see what we got. What do we got? On the 5th day of Christmas, what does Search Atlas have for me? We're out of focus. The Search Atlas WordPress Plugin version 3 and auto CMS push integration into WordPress. Sweet. So with the Search Atlas WordPress Plugin version 3, it is a direct execution bridge between the Search Atlas environment and your WordPress site. It is a full SEO command center for the WordPress environment. For years, WordPress SEO has looked kind of like this. One plugin we'll use to manage our metadata, and maybe another one that manages sitemaps, and another one we have to add to put schema into the website and to add JavaScript, And then we've got a bunch of other plugins for caching, and sometimes these plugins fight with each other. And we've got another one that's supposed to do Robots.txt properly, and then a separate SEO platform running the audits, telling us what to fix, but not actually fixing it. And so teams end up jumping in between dashboards. Plugins are in conflict and fighting with each other, and there's no way for that platform to actually manipulate the WordPress environment and make the changes. So we end up re-implementing changes, doing things manually, and hoping that nothing breaks in the cache. And that is not fun, and it is not scalable. And that is not how an execution first system should work. And it's also not how we want a CMS to behave in 2025 going into 2026. So the Search Atlas WordPress plugin is changing so much of that. It is turning WordPress into a native execution surface for Search Atlas so that Search Atlas can have the strategy inside it. You can run execution with Search Atlas Brain directly in Search Atlas and have it change things directly inside WordPress so that everything can stay visible, editable, cache aware, and easy and connected. So to tell you what this actually means, number one, the WordPress plugin now allows you to import your data from existing SEO plugins instantly. So if you're coming from Yoast or RankMath or others, with one click, you can import your existing plugin data directly into Search Atlas in the WordPress plugin. Titles, metas, configs, there's no reset, there's no rebuild. You don't lose history, you gain more control. You can also bring in your redirects into the plugin as well. So all of that is in there and it's completely free. Number two, you're getting one-click setup for IndexNow. So this is great because it allows us to push our data directly into Bing, boost visibility in their search engine, as well as ChatGPT. And now here's the big one. It is our ability to push changes directly into the WordPress CMS. So what that means is all of your auto titles and your meta descriptions, all of these page level optimizations, these are going directly into WordPress. So your titles, metas, schemas, structured page modification. And our goal here is that we don't want to actually keep these changes in Search Atlas and have you not see them when your team logs into WordPress. We want you to see what's actually there and live inside the WordPress environment. And for a long time, and this has been true for a very long time, I think as of like March this year, with the WordPress plugin, everything, all of the changes are being made server-side anyways. So this isn't the kind of thing that it's being served up on the client. All of the changes are happening inside WordPress itself. So that means that LLMs can see them. That means obviously Google can see them. And now also you can see them inside WordPress. So that's really nice, okay? That means you can also edit them in WordPress and you just know exactly what's live inside the WordPress environment. The way that that works, Arman's going to show us today how to enable that in the platform and how that will enable WordPress to go and gather the changes from Search Atlas and bring them into your WordPress environment. We've also added cache control so that Auto is not just optimizing pages, it knows now when and how to clear cache for not just our plugin, but for other plugins. This has been a big, something we really had to learn a lot about with the WordPress environment. When you make changes in WordPress, there are so many layers of caching that can be there that can cause a lot of problems for changes appearing on the website. So making sure that our updates don't get stuck behind these stale cache layers, this was a big focus for us. And now we're able to manage the auto cache, the WordPress cache, and cache from other plugins as well to solve a lot of compatibility problems. Number 5, WordPress TXT management. You can do that now completely from inside the plugin. This is really strategic for us because now what it means is when you're vibe SEOing with Search Atlas Brain, you can go and give commands, and we're not quite there yet, but this is where we're going. You'll be able to give commands to how you want to edit the WordPress environment, whether it's Robots.txt or even the sitemap.xml, and it will now be able to do that because your robots and your sitemap are powered by the Search Atlas plugin, and they're fully within our control. So this is great. It gives us and you more ability to control the WordPress environment and solve issues with really any component of the technical SEO stack of the WordPress environment, okay? So really big. And now number 7, white label everything. So for agencies, you guys really care about this. You guys have been telling us how much you wanted us to add more robust features for this. You can add your logo, you can set branding, you can set the name of the plugin, you can control colors and fonts. And then finally, once you configure everything, you can lock it so that those configurations cannot be edited or seen or changed by anyone else that doesn't have the password, okay? So that's really nice. And then number 8, secure SSO. This gives us control and ability to go one click from Search Atlas directly into WordPress. That means you don't need to have a lot of extra logins or credential sharing. And if you also want to turn that off, you can disable that directly from the WordPress settings. Either way, you're in control. And number 9, one-click synchronization to Search Atlas. So this allows us to connect WordPress to Search Atlas in a single click. If you guys were around last year, you guys probably remember that there used to be API keys. There was kind of a setup maze, and it was kind of frustrating to connect, and it was painful. We're trying to make that super buttery smooth so that it doesn't matter how many clients we're setting this up on, whether it's 1, 10, or 100. We have a really smooth and quick, painless way to get all of our WordPress sites talking to Search Atlas and able to use Brain. And now number 10, WordPress post scheduling, because timing really matters with the way we publish our blogs. Now we can schedule blogs directly in the system so that content optimization publishing can happen as one workflow and the content doesn't have to all go live at the same time. The way we used to support this is we would suggest installing other plugins that would take content from drafts and then move them from drafts to publish. That's not needed anymore because now you can publish and schedule directly. You guys are going to see we are making updates to the WordPress plugin literally every single week. Updates that are designed to make it more stable, to make it more compatible with different environments, updates to make it faster. So we're always improving this WordPress plugin, and you'll see our WordPress plugin team is committed to the WordPress ecosystem, and we're doubling and tripling down on that focus with some new capabilities that'll be coming in the next 30 days, including WordPress native AI page building and editing capabilities with Brain that we are working on right now and will be coming in the near future. So this is all about collapsing the distance between strategy and execution, insight and action, and recommendation and deployment. So let's get into the demo. Let's get my friend Arman Advani here with us. One sec. Arman, what's going on, man?
What's up, Manick? How are you, brother? Happy Friday. Happy holidays. I'm excited for this one as well. It's been a great week, tons of excitement. But this one's, I think it's been asked for more frequently than ever, right? It's just more control inside WordPress.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to give the people what they want, man.
Let's give the people what they want, man. Let's give the people what they want. You want to share your screen and we'll start walking them through it?
Yes, sir. Beautiful. Just let me know when I'm visible and the screen's on center stage.
I can see it. But before we dive right into the demo, let's just pop into the chat. Let's see what's going on in here. Oh, Cardamom Team, you really know how to pull my strings. You're complimenting my jackets. I love it. I'm blushing. You made a brown man blush. All right. A lot of excitement.
Not easy to do, man. That's a rare talent,
No, it's not. It's Beautiful. Not, especially not me. All right, people, I think they're pretty much hyped. I don't see a lot of questions. Okay, one question from Pixel Drip Studio. Is this going to be builder agnostic? So are we going to be able to support multiple builders? Right now, the WordPress plugin is compatible with all major site builders. So our sites, we build them on Elementor. It's totally compatible with Elementor. It's also compatible with Divi. Our good friend, dear friend, Eric Caldwell, he builds all of his sites on Divi. And so that's been a key area for us to make sure we're fully compliant with all the Divi sites that are out there. What else do we got? Is anyone still using WP Bakery? Please no. Please say no. But I think it's even compatible with that piece of trash. Yeah, so it is very compatible. I mean, we now, I think the plugin is powering something like 10,000 sites and growing. And so there's been a lot of different types of environments that we've had to make the plugin compatible with. And that is actually really tough. One of the things that we find is that if you're using one of these kind of really well-known mass market site builders, you're going to be fine. If you've done really customized things to the WordPress environment and you've built something kind of a Frankenstein, then not necessarily your site is often going to be incompatible with many plugins, but that can often be an issue. But if you're using something normal, any of the standard site builders or even Gutenberg, you're going to be totally fine. Good question. Some people don't even know what WP Bakery is. That's good. I guess I'm showing how old I am. But Arman, I think we're good. I don't see a lot of questions. We'll probably get more questions as we go. If you guys have questions, just pop them in the chat. We will get to them, I promise. And maybe you'll have questions as Arman demos the functionality. So Arman, take it away.
Perfect. Cool. So obviously this is what auto looks like inside your inside Search Atlas, not your WordPress admin. You can use our new agentic workflows to actually optimize the site. Exactly what Manick said. Strategy and deployment has never been faster, right? Through the combination of agents and Auto's capability to make those changes. Now, what's really great to see is this entirety of Auto is actually embedded now inside the Search Atlas plugin. So you can actually see everything that you've been doing inside of Search Atlas transposed inside WordPress directly. So this gives you, complete visibility into everything that you've been doing from an on-page perspective. So this is the default view. When you click dashboard, this is what you'll see when you're first logged in. You'll have your status, you'll have all of your deploy logs, everything in here. Now, what you'll also notice is, there's several top-level menu items here from indexation, compatibility, sync logs, etc. So let's go through those. Let me just close this out. So I think that is a huge win because I know me specifically, I get that question all the time. They're like, hey, I love your WordPress plugin, but I have 50 plus sites using RankMath. I don't necessarily want to go and rebuild everything that I was doing in RankMath inside Search Atlas. Well, you don't have to. You can literally import all of that data, have Search Atlas do it for you, and then get rid of RankMath or other similar tools.
I like it.
Beautiful.
And there's that button in the top right. So very easy to find.
Yeah, exactly. This one right here. Cool. So now here, this is our compatibility module that's essentially showing you what are the page builders we're currently compatible with, what versions, what other plugins can we import or ingest information from, what cache plugins do we help kind of modify and work with. And if you have doubt about, is this going to work with my particular build? Well, you can actually use the test configuration module to figure out if there's anything wrong or if there's anything we need to update before we can go ahead and use the full capabilities of the plugins. So this is right here under compatibility, quick review into what's going on. Next thing over is we have the sync log. So the sync log is exactly what it implies, right? It's showing you what changes have been made to this website via Auto and the plugin. When were those changes made? What action was done? What pages were touched? So this is always going to be live. You can filter this by all time. You can filter by status. But this is essentially going to give you a clean record of every action that was taken by you or the agent or your team member when reviewing what did we do for this site, right? So this sync log is automatically updating. You don't have to do anything. As you make changes to the website with Auto, you'll see those deployments here as they're being made to the actual website. Beautiful. Okay, now we have, let me just pop over here for redirects. So the next tab over is redirects. Again, right here, we have this big green button that says import from other SEO plugins. So if you've been using another tool to set up your redirects inside of WordPress, you can now import those existing redirects so you don't have to rebuild them. And then you can remove that other plugin and just have Search Atlas go ahead and continue using that for you. If you need to build new redirects like 301s or 404s or anything like that, you can actually just come in here and set them up yourself directly inside of this module in the plugin. Similarly, we have two tabs here, one for robots files and one for sitemaps. So very same idea. If you have an existing plugin that's helping you with robots, you can go ahead and import it. If you've never built a robots file before or you don't know how, there's some quick and easy actions here, as well as user guides that just help you understand what is important, What should I be adding? And most importantly, let me validate that this is not going to unintentionally take my site or make my site invisible to search engines before I update this robots file, right? So this is a very quick and easy way to manage robots.txt files within WordPress. Cool.
And to say it just another time, correct. You do not need Yoast, RankMath, AIOS. You don't need those plugins anymore. The goal is to bring everything into one execution environment so everything can be managed correctly, properly, and you guys will get Search Atlas Brain in here along with the ability to build pages and edit the entire WordPress environment, and everything is living inside this one execution space. So that when you guys need to make changes, you don't need to make changes across many different plugins. Everything can happen inside here, and Search Atlas Brain can do it for you. So when you run the site audit, when you're in auto and you're finding issues that need to be resolved, all of that is going to be fully synced into the WordPress environment automatically. At the end, after we're done with WordPress, we will look at the universal CMS integrations to show what type of support we have for other plugins, or I'm sorry, other CMSs like Wix and Webflow and all the other stuff. But please give us time to get to that. We'll get to that at the end. We're going to stick to WordPress for now.
Absolutely. And just to double down on that, for WordPress, for my Lord of the Rings fans like Justin, I see you in the chat, buddy, one plugin to rule them all, baby. That's what the goal is here, right? Yeah. One plugin to rule them all. Cool. So these are sitemaps here, guys. Again, you can generate sitemaps. You can import existing sitemaps from Yoast. I know a lot of people use Yoast for their sitemap generation. You can set up, I already have this enabled here, which is automatic updates to the sitemap. So as we add new pages to the sitemap, as we remove pages from the sitemap, we can automatically update it. Now, one thing I really want to stress here is the fact that we also do GAC instant indexing, and we also do Bing IndexNow integrations. So as you're making changes to the sitemap programmatically, those changes are also being fed into Google Search Console and Bing programmatically, right? So it's not just about updating the sitemap, it's about sending those updates as quickly as possible to the most popular search engines in the world so we can improve our SEO and AI search visibility. Cool.
Nice.
All right.
I mean, that's huge. That's so fucking huge. And we wanted to do that for all CMSs, but WordPress is special because we get straight into the code. We can make those changes. We can make it enabled very seamlessly and painlessly. And the impact of that, guys, is huge because you can't rank if you can't get the content indexed. So indexation is, I think, one of the silent killers of SEO performance. And now with this enabled, you don't have to sweat about it because Search Atlas is trying to push more and more of your content into the search engines constantly. And when you have the plugin enabled, it's going to be able to do it for you seamlessly. So a lot of people will ask, okay, do I install the Auto Pixel or the WordPress plugin or the Cloudflare installation, or do I do the CMS integrations? Arman, how would you tell them to prioritize those solutions depending on what CMS they're on?
Absolutely. So I'm glad you asked that question. So our number one preference is always going to be to connect to the CMS directly. So if you're on WordPress, without question, the WordPress plugin is going to be the right preferred way to use Auto. If you have the WordPress plugin installed, you do not need the JavaScript installation and you do not need the Cloudflare configuration. You only need the WordPress plugin. If you're not on WordPress and you are on one of the supported CMS integrations that we'll cover here in a moment, then connect that way, right? There's no plugin, there's no pixel. It's a direct connection via API from Search Atlas to the CMS on our list. Priority number two, if you're not using one of our supported CMS integrations, then routing your connection through the Cloudflare DNS is going to be the next most preferred option, because this will still enable SSR, which is server-side rendering, for all of the work that Auto is doing. And if you, for some reason, can't set up Cloudflare, it's free, by the way, guys. You don't need a paid account. It's free to set up Cloudflare. But if you can't do that, then we would recommend going with the Google Tag Manager JavaScript installation method, right? but that is actually like our last resort as opposed to our first and only option. First option is always going to be connect directly to the CMS via a plugin or a CMS connector.
Perfect. Nailed it.
Beautiful. Okay, so I'm actually right now I'm in the advanced settings. Before I go to the advanced settings, let me show you some of the stock settings, if you will. So this is going to be when you click settings in the general tab. So in order to actually get auto connected to Search Atlas, A, you have to have a Search Atlas account, obviously. B, you have to, add a project for auto. And then you just click authenticate. A pop-up triggers and it validates an authentication to your Search Atlas account and the pixel for this project. And it just syncs automatically, right? And then it fills in like the API key, your auth token, all of these things, as well as your unique identifier. So it's actually never been easier than it is right now to make sure your WordPress plugin is installed and engaged correctly. Now, once you get all of these green check marks like you're seeing here, then you can start selectively choosing which modules you want turned on or off, right? So for example, this one right here, enable auto server-side rendering. Yep, check that box. This one here, enable schema. Yes, check that box. This one here, enable title and meta descriptions updates. When enabled, changes will be stored in the WordPress database.
Yes.
Check that box.
You guys want that. You guys have wanted that all year.
Exactly.
That is the biggest thing you guys have been asking us for, is saying, hey, I love that Auto is fixing these issues on my website, but can you bring it into my CMS? That's doing it for you right there. That's it. So that now when your team's working on your client sites or your sites and you're in WordPress and you're looking at your pages, your posts, you're going to see what auto has changed for your titles and your metas directly in the environment. So, you don't have to assume that they're good and they're being managed outside. You can see them directly inside WordPress. And the plugin itself is now fetching and retrieving that data from auto to bring it into the WordPress environment for you. So it's really robust. It's really stable. We've also put a lot of focus also on optimization on speed. And so just to talk briefly about that, the way that this works is once the changes are brought in, anything that's inside the WordPress database, there's no latency caused by that. But if there's anything like, let's say, image alt texts, WordPress doesn't have a very uniform way for us to manage that. Schema can also be tricky. We're powering that through the plugin layer of the Search Atlas plugin. And the total amount of incremental latency that's caused by it is less than 100 milliseconds. It's less than 100 milliseconds. And that is coming down. The team is constantly optimizing that. And you guys will see every single week, our team is making updates that are geared around, one, finding edge cases, also optimizing the plugin to make it faster and more stable, and reducing the latency even more. But it's already under 100 milliseconds. So it's not really causing significant speed impact to the site.
Awesome. Thanks for clarifying that, Manick. Beautiful. So as you guys can see here, there's a lot of settings that, the goal of this, by the way, is not to confuse you with what settings to use. The goal of this is to give you as much control over your website, your changes as humanly possible, right? We are trying to empower you. But if you have any questions about this, if you're unclear, like, should I use this? Should I not use this? Just check out the help docs in our help center. We're working diligently to try to keep them updated. The moment, actually before a new version of the plugin goes live, our goal is to update the help center to map out every change that was in there and every new use case and every new feature, right? So you can find the help center at help.searchatlas.com, and it gives you everything you need, not just for the WordPress plugin, but for literally everything inside the Search Atlas toolkit. Okay.
Awesome.
Beautiful. So I won't go through every single checkbox here, guys. We have the label and the description. You can see exactly what it's doing. But just wanted to show you that also here, there is another import. So if you just want to bulk import settings from other plugins, you just go ahead and click that. And we literally show you here which ones. And the et cetera is meant to be just like a catch-all for all SEO plugins, right? Beautiful. Okay. And, for some of you guys that have a trouble with the dark mode, you can also switch to light mode and make it a little bit easier. For me, this is way too bright. So I'm going to stick with the dark theme, but just letting you know that you can toggle that on and off now. Perfect. So here, where you click the setting drop-down menu, so general, that's what we're looking at here. We have white label and we have advanced. So let me show you guys the white label really quickly. So white label branding menu. Right here, we're saying, what do you want to call the plugin? So this screen, if you're a single business, this screen is irrelevant for you. But if you're an agency that's operating with the Search Atlas technology and you're using our platform in a white label capacity, it makes sense to also white label the plugin, right? So you can come in here and rename the plugin. So instead of it being called Search Atlas, you can call it literally whatever you want. You can rename auto, you can change your URL, you can update your permalink, you can even change the description for what the plugin is as opposed to using the Search Atlas description. You could change the author, the menu slugs, the font colors, the font sizes, and right here, you can even password lock the plugin. So if you're working on your customer's website and your customer has access to their WordPress environment, but you don't want them to go into the Search Atlas plugin to make edits or changes or modifications, if you set a password here, then no one with that doesn't have access to that password can access the plugin altogether, right? So it's just about, again, more control and more privacy for how you guys are using the white label technology.
It's nice. And it's really good for agencies. That way they can really make their brand stick to their client in a way more meaningful way, because now you're showing your client you got custom software. That's huge, elevates you guys above all the other marketers out there in a big way.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Cool. So let's pop in here. I'll show you guys some of the advanced settings as well. The way you access these is setting, drop down, select advanced. Now here, if you do run into any errors, either with WordPress or with Search Atlas plugin, we have detailed error logs right here for you. And if you are a cache fanatic and you want to manage cache and have selective cache management between different plugins or CDN providers or even the WordPress default server cache, that's what this is here for, right? So you can use this to clear the cache for not just Search Atlas, but for all plugins, or selectively clear it based off what other tools or dependencies you have in the system. You also have error logs here. You can clear the error logs. You have quick descriptions for what these errors are if they do appear. And what's also really powerful about this is our team looks at all of these error logs, right? Our team looks at all the issues that come up in here. But what you can always do is click this button right here, report an issue. So this report an issue function gives our development team everything that they need to know about your project to help you personally. So what is your website? What version of the plugin are you on? What version of WordPress are you on? What's your PHP build? What theme are you using? What's your unique identifier? And then you can come in here and provide a description to give us additional guidance and let us know the severity error of this. This message, when you submit it, it does not just go into the ether somewhere for no one to review it. It goes directly to the developers who built the WordPress plugin so they can help you as quickly as possible with any edge cases or issues you may be experiencing. This, for WordPress specifically, is a much faster way to get help if you need it than going through like the chat support in the Search Atlas dashboard natively, because this automatically routes to the WordPress development team. Okay, a lot of people don't know that that's in here, but it's right here. It's this report an issue, and it gives us all of the context we need to help you. Okay, so just please remember to use that if you do happen to run into any issues as you begin to explore the WordPress plugin. Cool.
Nice.
Okay. One last thing here about the WordPress plugin is this module right here called Custom Pages. This module is super useful now, and it's going to be a lot more useful when we drop some new products. Hint, hint, stick around for the rest of the 12 days of Christmas. This will allow you to publish custom HTML pages to your site. Literally just hit add new custom page. It'll drop you in here, or you can actually even just paste in the code blocks or upload your actual custom HTML page and publish it directly to your site. we also have, the
And,
ability to
and, and
publish
that's designed
blogs
to
and
be,
pages directly.
sorry, Mark, and that's designed to be
No, you're good.
used with Search Atlas, right? So when you're AI generating landing pages or blogs inside Search Atlas, you can bring them in here
Exactly.
directly. If the plugin is connected, you should also be able to use it as a direct publishing destination from the platform. So just to show you guys our vision, we believe that Search Atlas can be a platform where we can create websites, website content, optimization, and deploy it from Search Atlas to any CMS. That's what we're trying to do so that you guys, it doesn't matter what CMS your client's on, right? And a lot of times you guys, so for many of you guys will work with local businesses and you're building them their website and you're picking the CMS that they're on, and that's all fine and good. But as you guys keep growing in your journey, you're going to start working with bigger brands. And big brands, they're not going to be switching CMS. They're going to be on whatever CMS they're on. So you're going to have to figure out how to work with HubSpot or Salesforce, God forbid, or other CMS platforms that are really, really difficult to work with. Our dream, our vision is to make this easy for you so that you can just focus on the strategy and leave the execution, all of that to the AI and to the integrations that we're building in the platform. We have been building on this for years. We didn't just roll out of bed and just crank out a WordPress plugin a month ago. This WordPress plugin has been a labor of love for years. And if you guys check the change logs in the plugin, you will see every single week, improvements, optimizations, every single week are being deployed to the plugin. We're not just building this and we're just abandoning the project. We are constantly improving it. And same is true for obviously, as you guys can see, for the rest of our platform and for the individual CMSs that we're publishing to and integrating with. And so our goal was to start doing this. We started over 6 months ago, building for all these other CMSs. And we've caught all these edge cases and all these weird idiosyncratic problems that have to do with every CMS. And we've been patching them and we've been building and fixing them because honestly, we knew it was going to take time. And so what you're looking at is not a beta product. You're looking at something that has been battle forged and tested for a long, long, long time now. And I will say that the WordPress plugin has been more stable than it had ever been. We don't see issues where people are complaining about the WordPress plugin crashing or big issues anymore. It just doesn't really happen. It's been maybe almost 9 months since we've had issues like that. The WordPress plugin has become super, super stable. And now because of the way the WordPress environment inside Search Atlas is set up, where we're building the plugin and we have all these Plesk WordPress sites that we test them against, we're trying to make sure that as we keep improving, that we don't break sites, that nothing goes wrong. And we have this automated system, this pipeline that we had to create. It took us a long time with our DevOps team to set up these pipelines, but they basically allow us to test our WordPress plugin against all of your configurations for your sites so we can validate them in our sandbox before any changes go to production or they even go to QA. And this has allowed the developers to work in a much better system than before. So just giving you guys some of the kind of, context from the trenches of actually building on this plugin with the team for now the last couple of years.
Yeah. I can't stress how right Manick is about that. So much so, guys, we've been on this call for 45 minutes right now. You can see right here, I'm on version 2.5.13. Brother, in the last 25 minutes, we've updated it to version 2.5 to 14. Okay. That's how actively we're working on improving and updating and fixing and making it better and better and better. Within the last 25 minutes, we just dropped a new version of this plugin with enhancements and making it even better for you, right? So this is not, we built it, we're done, we're never going to look at this again. We're going to constantly improve it and make it better and make it more robust and make it easier to use and more integrated into everything that we're doing, right? Absolutely. So if you're on 2.5.13, now please update to 2.5.14, okay?
Yeah.
And there is a setting that allows you to automatically update. So if you're on here, general configuration, you can just select this button here that says, where is it? Automatically update the WordPress plugin as new versions are available, right? So just select that box right there.
And Arman, can you see the change log so people can read the actual update from today?
Yeah.
I'm going to post it in the
Where
chat as
are
well,
we?
but I think it should be there. Just
Perfect.
want to show them where it is. Oh, it's too much
It's going to
text.
be here, development. It's right here. So fixed compatibility with formidable forms, fixed case compatibility, small adjustments to overall code, improve the server-side rendering system, UX improvements, and WordPress database improvements.
And that improvement of the auto SSR system is the one that shaved the latency down to sub 100 milliseconds. So this update is a really big update. I want to make sure you guys update your sites to use it. It's going to be, I mean, the speed gain is meaningful, and we're going to shave it down even more. There's still more that we know we can do. And so I think we'll get it down to probably sub 20 milliseconds eventually. But even already, it's really fast.
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, just a couple quick reminders. If you need to access the white label, I see a question in the chat, just hit the drop-down settings here, click white label, and then you'd be in there. Let me just save my changes. Yeah, and then click white label, and now you're in here.
945 Studios. How do you guys stay organized with all the stuff that you do? Arman, can you help? Can you answer that? I don't know how we do it.
I mean,
it's crazy.
Yeah, honestly, like we use ClickUp for project management and organizing, so that helps. But it's a lot of it lives right up here, baby. Yeah,
it's a lot, and I mean we got you guys know we have 240 employees, 250 employees at the company now. So if it looks like it's Arman and I building all this stuff, it's not. It's us shaping and guiding it, and also listening to you guys, right? This plugin is what you guys wanted. This is what you guys were asking us for. So we listen to what you guys share with us. So we're super community aligned. What you guys tell us you're looking for goes straight into the product roadmap. That's the role that Arman and I play, is we're kind of 1 foot in the future and 1 foot in the present. And we're kind of looking at where do we need to go with the product? What do we know it needs to become as far as the future of where marketing and AI is taking us? But then also today in the reality of using this on real client sites, and this is a lot where we get context from you guys, right? What do we need to do to keep improving the performance of the product and making it easier to use for agencies that are in here and brands too every day? So it's both. And I'm not going to say it's easy. Arman and I both probably work about almost 20 hours a day. It's insane. But we do it because it's fun. This doesn't really feel like work for us. This is just, this is what I want to do every day when I wake up, actually.
Agreed. Absolutely, Manick. I think it becomes easier to do this level of work, if you will, when there's genuine passion and belief in what you're doing, right? It doesn't feel like a traditional job in that sense, because this is our life's work. This is passion. This is what we wake up to do.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet. One other quick point here before we switch gears out of WordPress, guys. The plugin also is the mechanism that supports the one-click publishing of pages or blogs, or the scheduled publishing of pages or blogs as well. That was also a feature that was very prominently requested was, hey, I've used your topical map, I've used your domain knowledge networks, I've created hundreds of articles, and yes, I can one-click publish them to WordPress, but I got to click that one-click button 150 times because I have 150 blogs. And, one of the things that makes it easier now is being able to schedule those, right? And say, okay, publish one post per day, every day until I run out of blogs, right? Or schedule it at a cadence bi-weekly, every 3 days, every Friday, whatever publishing cadence makes sense for you guys. You can actually set that up now directly within the WordPress plugin. So just a quick example, if we're in our content tool, we just hit, I want to synchronize this with WordPress. You'll hit that, it'll bring up a pop-up. And let me just go in here, do this with recovery path marketing. And I can say, is this a blog post or a page? Should this go in draft mode, publish, or should it be scheduled for a later date? If scheduled, when? What time? When do you want this to be posted, right? So you can do this either immediately or set up a schedule to publish whatever you want to publish. Just define your little parameters here and then go ahead and hit publish blog post. and the system will do the rest, right? So super fast, very easy to use. But this, the scheduled feature, that is new, okay? So just make sure that you're updated to the newest versions of the WordPress plugin so you get all of these additional benefits.
Nice. That's a big one.
Beautiful.
You guys have been asking for that for a while. So we put it in there for you.
Awesome. And the last thing, again, related to WordPress before we move on to the other connectors, let me just close out my chat window here, is this indexing feature, right? So if you're inside your auto, you go to indexing, you go to instant indexing. If you click this button for right here, Bing Index Now, you'll see that I'm already installed. How did I install Bing indexation? I did not copy the above key, download a text file, go to the root of my website and update it. I did not do that. All I did was click that button that allowed me through the plugin to push an integration into Bing Index Now, right? That's, again, one of the benefits of having a direct CMS connection. It allows us to add snippets like a validation for this API key for Bing, for example. So make sure you also enable Index Now if you're using the WordPress plugin or one of our supported CMS connectors. Which then leads me perfectly into our other CMS connectors. Yeah. So how do you access this screen? You hit the drop-down menu at the top right. Thank you, Mike.
Got it. So for all you guys wondering, so you hit the drop-down Wix menu and Webflow and all these others, yeah, go ahead.
Drop-down menu, settings, CMS connectors, add connector, new domain or existing domain. We'll say new domain, tell me the site. Let's say it's test.com and you're using Magento because you're an e-commerce giant. Click Magento, click next, auth method, and then follow the instructions and now connect directly between Search Atlas to any CMS that is presented on this list. This is not a pixel. This is not a plugin. This is a straight connection, database to database, to these CMS providers. And we are working on adding more of these as quickly as humanly possible, guys. There are no shortage of CMS providers on planet Earth. So if you guys have a high priority, like, hey, I really need a CMS connector for X, let us know. And we'll tally up the votes, and that's how we figure out which one to build next, right? And also, just note, not all CMS providers have open or descriptive enough API docs for us to do everything we need to do. And if they don't, that's where we can use your help to build a case and be like, hey, give Search Atlas API docs so we can use their technology. Otherwise, we're leaving your CMS because we want to build in the future. Cool. All righty.
Sweet.
I think that kind of covers all of the updates here, guys. Just going to scan through the chat, see if there are any questions we can address. Best in Dough. Love that name, by the way. Just deleted a ton of plugins. Awesome. Love to see it. Already updated to 2.5.14. Awesome. Thought Magento was Magneto. Yep. Hilarious. Awesome.
Love that.
Cool. Manick, anything else you want to cover here while we have everyone, or I think we kind of got through all the main points?
Yeah, I think so. Well, yeah, I think we got through most of the key points. Now, with the WordPress plugin, if there's more that you guys want to see in the plugin, there's a couple ways to get that information to us. One, I think our Facebook group, our community group, that's the best place to do it, where we can have these discussions. Also, you see that report an issue button. If you guys have some idiosyncratic or some weird bug, click that button right there, and it'll report directly into our WordPress development team. We have 5 engineers building on WordPress every single day, and I need stuff for them to work on. So I have a roadmap for them, but I also want you guys to inform that roadmap. As I alluded to earlier on the call, there is a very powerful AI page builder that connects into Search Atlas Brain that is going to be coming. That's going to be released in January. So make sure you guys make your updates to WordPress environment now, get used to all the system stuff now. And when that's ready, we'll be doing another one of these to walk you guys through how that product works, okay? Thank you guys so much for being here today. And once again, you guys know, let's give Arman a round of applause. Arman, thank you.
Thanks, brother.
And we will, as you guys know, we've got the AI Search Summit has been going all week. Today is the final day of AI Search Summit where we focus on LLM visibility and AI search, how we get into those answer engines. So look forward to seeing you guys on that today, where we will be going over more updates to Search Atlas Brain and how to do that agentically and vibe SEO with that. And Monday, we will be continuing with the 12 days of Search Atlas. And I'm going to tell you guys something that Monday is going to be very special. Very, very special day. It's been something that we have been gearing up to launch every day, and then just pushing it back by another day because we just wanted just a bit more time. We're giving the team the weekend to really finalize it and get it where we want it to be so we can show it to you on Monday. So I look forward to seeing you on Monday's live stream. And until then, have an awesome weekend. Happy holidays, everyone. And yeah, I'll see you. Take care.
Bye, guys. Happy holidays. Happy Friday. See you all soon.
Bye for now.